We're on. How's it going? Hope everyone's well. Hope you have a good weekend. Just here Sunday night, and I wanted to really give my 4 thoughts on why I think a lot of guys are sort of falling down when it comes to long-term fitness and well-being. It's something that I talk to an awful lot about with the guys that I'm working with on the 6-week program. It's something I talk about a lot with the guys that are working on the maintenance academy with. And within our free group as well, and just guys that I work with as well locally as well. So kind of falling off the bandwagon is kind of like when you're kind of yo-yoing up and down. 1 minute you're kind of on it, the next minute you're not, and there's lots of distractions, there's lots of things taking you away from trying to be fit, be healthy, try and live a well-balanced life, and it's kind of like all in, or it's self-sabotage and completely going the opposite way and procrastinate and don't do anything. So I guess the idea of this video is to go through 4 things that I kind of feel that are reasons why a lot of men crash and why they don't keep themselves consistent. This is based on my own experience and the experience of working with a lot of guys to build their fitness. It's not only fitness, but their well-being, for the rest of their life. So, going to go through the first one, and in no particular order. So we're going to talk about accountability. So now, if you think about yourself within your accountability, and you think about yourself from junior school all the way up through to college, uni, and stuff like that, you're usually held accountable by kind of your parents still. Parents making sure that you're on track, kind of asking you questions all the way through junior school and secondary school. Have you done your homework? Have you put your uniform away? Have you paid your college fees? Whatever it might be. There's some form of accountability that always goes on. That kind of tends to stop along the way. And because you don't, because you're not accountable to somebody, it gives you an opportunity to be able to come off the wagon, to be able to do what you want to do and continue the bad habits and not go to the gym because you're not answering to anybody. And I think what accountability does is provides a kick up the arse scenario where somebody is saying to you, hey, why aren't you going to the gym? Hey, why aren't you eating well? Hey, why are you self-destructing and drinking at night? Hey, why are you emotionally eating? And I guess that's what a lot of the guys who buy into my 6-week program and who are in the maintenance academy, there's that continuous accountability, because all my job role as a coach is to question why you're making those decisions. Why aren't you planning? Why aren't you prepping? Are you planning? Why aren't you working out? And when you're suddenly challenged, you don't almost want to. It's almost that feeling of not wanting to be told off. And the accountability offers you some security and some backup about your goals and you achieving your goals. And I think that's what's really important. So first thing is, I think a lot of guys are lacking accountability. The wife telling you, come on, get off your ass, is not really the accountability that you need. The accountability that you need is straight talking, tough love, but understanding at the same time that how difficult the situation is. And you almost need that accountability to be able to strive and reach those goals, but then keep it going. Because there's no point in just doing something for a couple of weeks. You've got to be able to do this for the rest of your life until it's ingrained in your DNA and it's second nature. Okay, second thing that I feel is missing, and that is foundations. So you would not build a house or a skyscraper without solid foundations, because simply it would topple over if the wind blew it down or there was bad weather coming in, and it would just tumble down. And that's the same. I see an awful lot of guys going, I'm starting tomorrow, I'm crushing this tomorrow, I've gone for a run, this is the change of my life. And it's all impulse. So it's very impulse, because what happens is they get quite inspired by a video or a blog post, and what happens is that they initially want to make that change. So they do something which is a quick fix, and that quick fix is something like an instant run, like an instant endorphin hit that makes you feel really good about yourself. But then what happens is, because there are no foundations, because you have no set plan, because the accountability hasn't come in and there's no structure, which we'll come on to in a minute, you fall off after 4 or 5 days. So you're like, and that, a classic example of this is January. It's January, suddenly we go from December to January, everyone's pumped, everyone's excited. You're looking for that, I just want to change my life, that impulse. but there are no foundations in place because number one, you haven't planned. Number two, you don't know what you want to achieve. Number three, you don't know where to start. Number four, you lose motivation. And as soon as it gets hard, you step away from those goals. And because those foundations are not built, you topple over, and it's the yo-yo effect that we're talking about. So finding foundations is absolutely vital. Third one, and it kind of links in quite nicely with foundations. And that is, and that's structure. Now, a lot of people are, I feel, and this is based on talking to a lot of guys. I talk to a lot of guys who apply for the 6-week program and the Maintenance Academy, and there's a lack of structure because they're just flowing through life. They're just cuffing. There is no set structure in place. You know, when are you going to do your workouts? What are the times? Having the workouts done for you? What am I supposed to eat? You're just like reacting. You'll get up in the morning with 20 minutes to go before you've got to leave the door. You'll go out, you won't eat till lunchtime, and the lunchtime will be a meal deal, or it'll be McDonald's. And then you won't eat again till dinner, and you're starving yourself and you're not really kickstarting your metabolism because you're not allowing time for breakfast. And it's just, there's no structure, which creates the overwhelm, and you become drowning within your situation. And it gets worse and worse and worse, and then suddenly, you know, you emotionally drink and you emotionally eat. And you've got to find some structure. So I guess that's where a program would come in, or a PT, somebody that you could work with, or you do your own structure. You say, I'm going to work out between 6 and 7 in the morning, every single morning. You know, I'm going to make sure I've got time for breakfast. I'm going to make sure I've got time to go in, prep my lunch and my snacks for the day. I'm going to make sure I'm home for dinner, so I'm not eating fast food on the train on the way home, or in the self-service station, okay, because you're late home. You've got to find some structure, and that is down to timings. That's down to what are you doing each day. So on a Sunday night, as soon as I finish this live feed, I'm going to structure my week so that I know exactly what I'm doing Monday to Friday, inside out, back to front. I know what I'm doing every hour, micromanaging. You don't have to go to that depth, but you can just go to some sort of depth where you know when you're working out, you know what you're eating, you know the resources, and I think that's really important, and I think a lot of people are lacking structure. Okay, so we've got accountability, we've got structure, we've got foundation, and my last one is the emotional connection. People don't understand why they want to improve themselves, and I think if you just want to do it for the sake of it because you've watched one of my videos or one of someone else's videos and you suddenly have had that endorphin kick and you want to do something about it, you don't understand why you want to do it. You know, what is the core reason for you changing yourself? And something I ask a lot of the guys that apply for my 6-week program is, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you applying for this? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to build fitness and live a better lifestyle? And when we start peeling the layers back and we start getting to the root cause of the problem, a lot of guys find that it's to do with the emotional connection with kids. And that is one of the biggest things that I found with men, is that they are connecting the way that they're living their life now with how they live their life in 20 years and wanting to actually be here in 20 years to watch the kids walk down the aisle, to become a granddad, to go and travel the world with the partner, whatever it might be. But unless there's an emotional connection, unless there's something driving you, and unless there is that emotional connection that stops you from going, I can't be bothered, then that's where people fall off again. And I think it's really important for you to find that. You know, you've got to be really honest and dig deep. You've got to go deep, deep, deep. You know, why do you want to do that? Because you want to get fit. Why do you want to get fit? Because I want to have more energy for the day. Why do you want to have more energy for the day? So that when I get home, that I have enough energy to continue playing for the kids. Well, why is that important? Because it's important for me to be able to connect with the kids and for my kids not to see me as a lazy bastard who comes home and has a beer and sits on a sofa. Why is that important? Because I want to leave a legacy. And you could just keep going down there. You know, questions. And that's how you get to your root. Just get a piece of paper and write it on there. And it will start off generic and it will start off general for you, but then we get deep into it. And then as soon as you have that connection, you won't want to miss a workout. You won't want to eat shit. You won't want to eat crap and your nutrition will be poor. You won't want to emotionally fall off the bandwagon. The minute it gets hard, you give up. Okay, you will want to fight for it because you have that connection, that goal that's making you wanting to achieve it. So they're my 4: accountability, structure, foundation, and emotional connection. That's a lot to take in, And I don't expect people overnight to sort of suddenly make those changes and do something about it. But it takes a bit of time. It takes time to deal with this. And this is what we do within Academy. And if it's something that you want to do and you were thinking about the long-term vision of these things, and if you've been watching this and you can resonate with this, I run an academy for guys. It's a platform for guys 35 plus with structured routines every month, brand new 4-week programs, brand new recipes, food program to start with, accountability every day, focus calls if you need it once a month. You know, the whole package is there, and it's all designed to look after that one person, to get them right through the next year, 3 years, 5 years, to tackle all of those things that we've talked about, to improve yourself over that time. And you can find out those details on the website. So I've put the link up somewhere. You can have a look there. If you want to come down to the seminar in March, or you want to read the book, and you can kind of understand what I'm talking about in a little bit more depth. But just try and understand maybe why you're falling off the wagon, and try and do something about it, and be proactive rather than procrastinate, because procrastination is a thief of time, and you don't have time. You know, you just do not have time. I cannot believe I'm 40 this year. I'm 40 in October. I cannot believe when I booked my holiday, it was 12 months ago, and now it's 6 months ago. You know, that time disappears. I cannot believe it's another Sunday here and I'm doing another live feed. Time is disappearing, okay? And if you are wasting that time, there may be not a tomorrow for you to start that. You know, and that's the realistic side of it. You might wake up one day and you've said so many times tomorrow, that tomorrow might not actually ever come. And then you'll end up with regret, and that's a horrible emotion to have. And I did a video on that the other day. If you want to watch it, just follow down the timeline. But this here is just to make you self-aware, make you think, and kind of get you fired up for the week to think, yeah, I've got to stop. Got to stop like putting it off. I've got to stop kidding myself and lying to yourself, and face yourself in the mirror and kind of say, I need to do something about this. I definitely need to do something about this. So I'm going to leave you on that. I hope you have a great week. I hope it's constructive. I hope that you make the right decisions. I hope that you think about yourself and be a little bit selfish, and understand that you need to prioritise yourself over anything else. Because without you prioritising yourself, everything else around you will crumble, and you need to be super focused sort of going into life. All right? I hope you have a great night. Catch you soon.